This is my audience. Mirror, mirror on the wall. A common known phrase from the movie Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, except for that phrase was never said in the movie. This is an example of the Mandela effect, a phenomenon I first heard of in 2013 when a person my mom thought had died in the 80s had just died again. The Mandela effect is when a mass group of people have an altered memory of a person, place, or thing. Today I'm going to show you all the examples of the Mandela effect, how it got started, and why people think it's happening. The Mandela effect was first coined by Fiona Broome in her website she published. It's actually named after a former president of South Africa named Nelson Mandela. Mandela was imprisoned for treason, but he went through his trial, he went to prison, and then lived till 2013 where he died. Many people had thought he had died in the 80s, however. Fiona Broome was one of these people. When she confronted people about her thoughts, she found out she was not the only person. She was actually astounded by how many people had thought the same thing as her, which caused her to publish her website, and the Mandela effect was born. As it became more well known, more examples of the Mandela effect came to the light. These examples include mirror, mirror on the wall, which never was said in Snow White. The actual phrase was magic mirror on the wall. It's very similar, but it's weird that everyone thought the same thing. Another example is Pikachu from Pokemon, who never had a black stripe on his tail. He always had a solid black yellow tail. Curious George from the movies and books never had a tail in any of the books. Smokey the Bear was never called Smokey the Bear. He was always just Smokey Bear. The Berenstein Bears, which I thought was spelled S-T-E-I-N, was never spelled that way. It was always been spelled S-T-A-I-N. Some things that aren't from our childhood would be things like the Oscar Mayer Hot Dog Company, which I always thought was pronounced Meyer and spelled M-E-Y-E-R. Another thing is Febreze, which I always thought was spelled with 2 E's instead of just 1. These are just a few examples I got from a YouTube channel called React. Now, let me tell you a few of the reasons why this might be happening. The first reason is logical and easy to explain, while the other one is unlogical and relies on the fact that it cannot be disproven. The first reason is non-cognitive memory loss. This is whenever your brain warps long-term memories. Short-term memories can be reliable, like an eyewitness account, but if you try to remember an argument you had 7 years ago, you won't get every single detail exact. This is because your brain fills in the gaps. An example of how this made the Mandela effect was the Berenstein Bears, which had the word Steen in it. If you were in elementary school and your teacher asked you how to spell Steen, you would spell it S-T-E-I-N, which is incorrect in this case, but it would be correct for that elementary school teacher. Your brain stores all memories with all other similar memories, such as Alexander Hamilton. Many people thought he was a president because he was associated with presidents. His name was on the Declaration of Independence, but he was never a president. This is another example of the Mandela effect. Second reason would be alternate realities. This is less likely not because alternate realities are not a thing. That is a real theory in quantum physics. But the fact is, we would have had to slid from our past reality into the one we are currently in, which is why our past is not what it is in this timeline. This theory is much less likely, and it's less logical, but is more popular than non-cognitive memory loss. And that is because many people are not aware that their memories are not to be trusted. So, magic mirror on the wall. Who is the most misled of them all? The Mandela effect is a phenomenon that has weaseled its way into all of our lives. It cannot be disproven, otherwise it wouldn't be a phenomenon. Now, I hope that you're more aware of the changes in your life and that it could have been because of the Mandela effect.